how to make one of these things, which I've decided to name pipe cleaner monsters. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make a creature out of pipe cleaners and these things, pom-poms. So, first of all, you start off by putting this together. So you might want to make it look like a teardrop shape, like this. So the next thing you do is you hook your finger through the top here and you pull. And when you take it off, you should have something that looks like this. Now, we're going to take another one and do the exact same process. So if you want yours to be more stable, you can do more than this. But since I only have 3 orange pipe cleaners, I think that's going to have to do it now. So, you might want to use some scissors to cut the thing. Yeah, so you might want to use some scissors to cut this into thirds, which I might have to go and get now. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to basically, if you were doing the 3 legs, if you're doing the 3-legged version, you'd probably use, probably add another one to make it longer, but I do not have enough to do 3 legs, so I'll just leave it with 2. You will either use hot glue or PVA glue to stick this together, and once the whatever glue you've used has dried, you'll probably want to reshape the legs more so they stand properly, because right now it looks like a baby giraffe. So, I'll be back in a minute. So I've grabbed my scissors, and now what we are going to do is fold them so they are like this, and then flatten them like this. There's definitely not the perfect method, and the middle one will be much longer than the side ones, but that's fine, it's what we need. So, this part might take a little bit, but you basically just have to cut through the wire when they get together. You probably want to use a pretty strong pair of scissors, so no paper scissors. But, yeah. So, once you have this, so these parts can either be used as stilts to just hold these things steady, or they can be twisted together to use for the neck. Or you could use them as a tail or something. Personally, I'm going to use this part as the neck, but I'm going to twist it together like this. Twist, and a twist, and a twist, and a twist. There. So, this squished like this. You should probably be able to hold one of these up. So if I hot glued this onto here, it would probably stay up. But now that we've finished that, and I have to wait. So I'm going to start by hot gluing the first of the triangles onto the body. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the leg and put a little bit of hot glue right about here. Then you've got to do this quickly. You take this and you smush. You're going to get the nice smush in there. And there. That's one of the legs stuck. So, while we wait for that to dry, we should probably hot glue the head onto the neck, which is very simple. You just take the hot glue, you just take the glue gun, squeeze some on, take this, and yet again, squoosh, squoosh, squoosh. Now I'm going to have to wait for that to dry before I put the eyes on, which, as you can see, they're going to cover every single little bit of that. So, just going to squish it like that. Now, this is entirely optional, but you can stick some more onto the bottom of the feet, or on the sides of the back, or even on the top of the head to make ears. Those are all completely optional things you can do to it. But I'm probably going to just do the eyes. And as you can see, these things, you could glue them on to the sides of that to make it much more stable. But you're probably going to want to do that after the rest of the glue is dried and or stuck on. Now it's time to squish the other leg on. So we go squish, 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 and pretty much just mush it into the side here. Now, if your legs feel a bit too loose, you can always re-stick. You can always just add more glue. But as you can see, these are a bit lopsided. So it kind of looks like Bambi when he first goes onto the ice in the movie. So this is where you'd use these things. So with this leg, it's way too splayed out, so you just squish it together more. And it can stand fine on its own, but when you put the head on, it's probably going to fall. So you take this, and you'd either stick it like this, or stick it like this. Personally, I'm going to stick it like this, so they don't completely fall over. Here's how I'm going to do it. Since these are both pipe cleaners, I'm actually going to stick it directly on the pipe cleaner. I'm just going to put the glue directly on the pipe cleaners. I'm trying to get that even, but it probably won't be even, because that's how stuff works. But basically, you have to try and just smush together like that. Just remember, keep smushing. Smush, smush, smush. So, if any of your legs end up bent, might as well just try and bend it out again. So you'll just try and stand it up and bend it so it stays. Sitting up. So if yours end up being a bit too bucked, like mine, you can just stretch it out a bit so they do not end up completely under to it. So now I'm going to glue it back. Now I'm going to glue it onto the other legs. So just glue and glue. Now it doesn't matter if the supports are on the are even equal, they just have to be connecting. So like this. And if we since top it's dry enough, we can touch it like this and squish it out a bit more. So yours might end up looking a bit splayed out like this. That's totally fine. Also kind of what it's going to look like anyway. But you might want to try and squish it into shape so that it doesn't look weird when it's standing up. But now the next thing we're going to do is stick the head on. So blink like that, grab this and shove it on. Now you've got to be careful to make sure it doesn't fall down. So this is the only part where you're going to have to hold it up. So you have to wait a little bit, but while you wait, you can imagine where you want to stick the googly eyes. You might want to stick it onto the actual thing. You might want to stick it onto the head. You might even want to stick it onto the legs. But you pretty much just wait, and once it's dried, you can normally you'd be able to let it go. But if it falls down like this, you might just want to bend it back a little. So it ends up kind of looking like that. And now it gets to the fun part, where we just accessorize. So, little lifty blip. And I can put on an eye here. Like that.
And move your shoulder away. Yeah.
And you might want to move the string so it doesn't accidentally chip it up. But then I think I made that bulb a bit too big. Just smash this here, like that. And you can just do whatever you want. So And you may be asking, why is the tail a different colour from the actual body? And that can be for a number of reasons. Either you don't have enough pom-poms, or you just like the look of it. But I should point this out. If you want to add the pom-poms onto the bottom of the feet, maybe just like hold it up with the rest of it, like that. This is probably a good time to do it. So you just flip it onto its side, glue, and a stick. So you might just want to flip it up and see if it's standing properly. And as you can see, this thing looks very weird. Now I'm just going to add the rest of the eyes.
Shall I finish the video?
Now, this is the finished product. As you can see, it looks very weird and it's very hard to move around. And I haven't finished pulling off all the little bitty bits here, but as you can see, it looks incredibly weird and is definitely something you can put on your shelf. And I'm probably going to make another one of a different colour.